Hi, my name is Amanda, and if you saw the title of this video, we're going to be playing Phase 10, but with books, but with Phase 10 cards. Okay, so this was created by Chris from Chris's Corner, and they came up with a very cool idea of using prompts for each number and color of the cards. And then when you draw your hand, you get those prompts to go with the color and number on the cards. So if you haven't seen Phase 10 cards, it's 1 through 12 of 4 colors, red, green, blue, and yellow. And there are different phases. Like during Phase 1, you're trying to get those cards in a certain order. And during Phase 2, you're doing a certain order. Well, right now, they are on Phase 2. The whole Discord is doing Phase 2. And so I went over to the Discord and I was like, I want to do this, but I don't have Phase 10 cards. I've played Phase 10 a lot, but the cards are at my parents' house and I don't have any here. So I went on there and I was like, is anybody willing to draw my cards for me? So let me get over here. I think I'm out of the way. These are the prompts. 12 red, green, blue, and yellow, like I said. And so then what you do is you have your deck, you shuffle the cards, and then you draw. And you keep drawing until you get the phase. Well, for Phase 2, we needed a run of 4. So that's just 4 cards, like 2, 3, 4, 5. And it doesn't matter what color they are. They just need to be in a row. And then 3 cards of the same number. So 3 2s, 3 7s, whatever. So thank you, Chelsea, for volunteering to draw for me. And she sent me a picture of the cards that she drew. So these are the ones that she drew for me. And in order to get 5 through 8, she actually ended up with 2 6s and 2 8s. And then we had 3 9s. So we had the potential of 3 10s or 3 11s, but we got 3 9s first. I hope that makes sense in how you do it. I wish that I had the actual cards so I could draw them like Chris does, one at a time, so you could kind of see exactly what would happen. But we're trying it out this time. We're going to see what I think about it. And then maybe when they do Phase 3, I will come back and actually have my own deck of cards that I can use. However, I did highlight over here on the left side all the books that have been drawn for me. So these are all of the prompts that I could read. But that is 14 books. And I only need to read 7 to complete the actual phase. So my plan is to start with those 7, and then if I finish those and I want to do more, I will. But I have to read a yellow 5 and a red 7, and then a red, green, and yellow 9. The 5 and the 7, I don't have a choice about. The 6 and the 8, I could read a red or a green for each one of them, because then that would fill my row that I needed to do. So let's talk about what I decided to do. I am going to read all the red ones across the top and then these. So I've got 6, 7, 8, 9, all red, 9 green, and 5 and 9 yellow, and no blues. So that's what I'm reading right now. Let's talk about what I'm doing for each one. So there's my phase over here on this side. I'm still mostly out of the way, but I'm going to put my face here. Not that it really matters. It's really too small for you to even be able to see it. But there's my face on the screen. So first I went with a 1-word title, and I went over to my storygraph. Almost every one of these comes straight from my storygraph. I just went over and started scrolling to see what I could find. I found Fable by Adrienne Young. Okay, this is the first in a series. It's young adult. I mean, it's listed right on the cover right there. It says Reese's YA Book Club. But here is what the description says about it. It is a good fit for those seeking an adventure-filled story with a strong female protagonist, a focus on found family, and a touch of romance, set in a dangerous world where the sea is both a source of sustenance and a force to be reckoned with. So that sounds really cool. That is actually the storygraph preview that they give you. That's not actually from the publisher. And then the next book, I needed a short book, which means less than 200 pages. And I went with A Girl Called Echo. This is a graphic novel, and it appears that Echo, this girl, can somehow go back in time. I don't know if she's actually going back or if in her mind she's going back. I don't know what all about it yet, but it's a graphic novel. It is about an indigenous girl in somewhere in the northern United States. I'm pretty sure it could actually be southern Canada, but I'll know more about it after I read it. So A Girl Called Echo is a short book. Then I needed a book with 5 or more words in the title, and I went with An Ember in the Ashes, which is exactly 5 words. And this one was the first one on my storygraph that came up with more than or 5 or more words in the title. This one I got because it was recommended by Paige from Pages with Paige. And it is also the beginning of a series, and it is also YA. And it says, it's a good fit for readers seeking a story that explores the resilience of hope and the power of human connection in the face of oppression and darkness. I mean, that's what it sounds like, right? An ember in the ashes kind of gives you that Phoenix vibe. So then next up was a standalone. So that doesn't really help me as far as my wanting to do 50 before 50 or finish those series, but that's okay. The standalone I picked was A Brightness Long Ago by Guy Gavriel Kay. I really like this cover. It's just a bunch of birds over the top of each other, red ones with gold on the side. It looks really cool. Anyway, it says it's a good fit for those seeking a thought-provoking and immersive read that explores the complexities of human relationships, the impact of memory, and the role of fortune in shaping our lives. So I have no idea. It is listed as a historical fantasy, and I don't know where it came from on my list other than the fact that I've read Guy Gavriel Kay before and I liked it. So maybe that's why I put it on there. Anyway, this next one is a book I've been avoiding. Now, when I shared my 24 fantasy books that I want to read in 2024, some people, a couple of people actually, were like, you need to read this one sooner, move it up your list. So I did, and here we go. I'm going to read The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. I am, for some reason, so intimidated by this book, and I've just been putting it off. So this is also the first book in a series. Y'all, just with this one TBR, I'm starting multiple series. It's fine. But it's called The Dandelion Dynasty. And it says, it's a good fit for those seeking an immersive and thought-provoking epic fantasy experience with a focus on the complexities of power, friendship, and the nature of justice. A lot of these are sounding the same, maybe with just a couple of little tweaks that are different. So I don't know. The description actually says, 2 men rebel together against tyranny and then become rivals in this first sweeping book of an epic fantasy series from Ken Liu. So we will see what happens. I don't know why I've been putting it off. I don't know why I'm so intimidated by it, but I am. So I'm reading it, a book I've been avoiding. Then we have Fire on the Cover. This was the only book. I had to scroll down so far to find this book that had fire on the cover. So I am reading Arsenic and Adobo, and my favorite part of this is that there's a little weenie dog, a little dachshund behind her, and I have a little dachshund behind me right now. So that part just looked really cute to me on the cover. Okay, so it says you get a lighthearted and humorous mystery with a touch of romance, family drama, and delectable Filipino cuisine. So that sounds wonderful. I know that this got mixed reviews initially when it came out. A lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't, so we'll just see how it goes. Then, finally, I had multiple POVs, and I was like, wait a minute. I know one of my 50 Before 50 series has multiple POVs, and I'm going to go grab one of those. And so I will be reading the next book in the Discworld series called Equal Rights. So these are the 7 books that I will be reading. Chelsea drew them for me. Thankfully, she was so sweet. I am going to get my own deck of cards because I really would like to play this again. I love that Chris has already created all the prompts and everything to go with the numbers, and you're going to get different ones every time. So we will officially play the game next time. After I finish these, I will do round 3, and you guys go over and check out Chris's Corner if you have not already. Let me know about these books. I know some of you are very happy that I have the Grace of Kings on here. Let me know about the rest of them. If there's any of them that you've read, I would like to hear about it down below. And I hope that you guys are having a wonderful new year. The tree is going to be up probably for one more week, one more video, and then it'll come down. Maybe 2 videos. We'll see. I don't want to yet, but I'm going to take it down, I promise. Bye.